We're in Fallout 76, the latest entry in the series, and after countless hours, I've got my sort of camp going. I'm set up here because I've been doing missions, and it was just the place that was available. So today we're going over a sort of quick, basic guide for getting the power going. So if you're familiar with Fallout 4, it's basically the exact same sort of thing. We get a generator, we attach some wires, and we place our lamps down. So I'm going to show off how to do that and everything like that, and kind of talk about the basics of working with lighting and the electricity system within the game. So first off, you need to get to the point where you actually unlock the camp. You see the little camp icon here, my camp. And then from there you're able to build and sort of move the structure around and everything like that. You open up your Pip-Boy and you see the LB there. And it does cost money to actually move your camp, so just so you know that kind of aspect before we jump into this. So cool, obviously you need supplies when you're building, so it's a good idea that you maybe get the required items to actually start building, but we're going to ignore that for a second and kind of chat about how to get the type of things you need. And we're going to get right into it. So we click build, and yeah, then we're given this kind of build menu. Sometimes you may find all your stuff's been stored, so you can see it from the stored segment and kind of plop it out and just place wherever you'd like. I don't know why I have two stash boxes, but whatever. Anyways, so you kind of move down a bit, and you'll notice we kind of have three main areas that are important to the generation of electricity. So you got the generators tab, got a small generator right there, and a large one. So notice, and this is kind of similar with all the power stuff, you're going to need ceramics, copper, kind of gears, rubbers, and stuff like that in order to basically build these kind of items. So we've got our small one here. It's a basic quick start, and again, this is just simple for those that have no idea about the electricity. You may come from Fallout 4 and you may be well versed with how it works. It's basically the exact same system, and I actually did guides back in the day for that one, so yeah, it should be cool. Settlements are actually kind of my favorite part of Fallout, so yeah, kind of thrilled to finally get to this point, but it's still kind of a tedious time getting everything back. So we've got our generator. Cool. That's great. List the generators. You can have a large one. Note underneath it, it produces so much electricity. So there's a max to what you can actually put in what will actually be sort of supported by each of these generators. So you may need to get bigger generators or put them kind of together. You can sort of chain them if you'd like. You can wire them together. You can put like generator beside generator, and then you can put wires, and then they're connected. If that makes sense. It'd kind of be a waste of supplies for me to do that right now, but I just kind of want to mention it. So I could put this right here, and then I could attach a wire from the tip to the other tip, and then it becomes one stronger circuit of power, and that kind of works with any of the options. I personally suggest getting kind of, well, I mean, if you can get the fusion one, but I don't know, I find windmills are kind of like large and bulky, but you can just do a bunch of large generators, and you should be fine once you get to a certain point. Well, we are at the basics, and again, I'm going slow, and I'm trying to really explain this for people that might be new to this type of, settlement building, now camp building with quotations in this game. So that's the generators. Next up, we have power connectors. So this is kind of how you sort of get your power out there. You'll notice the wire connection right there I have between these two, and then the lights are obviously working. Pretty cool, eh? So there's a couple different options. We've got conduits, we've got different pylons, and lots of different kind of ways to get the power out there, and things that sort of use power, if that makes sense, like the terminal and stuff like that. And a lot of things are locked because you need to get blueprints or do certain things in order to unlock certain stuff, and it's just this long sort of process of gaining everything. Then we have lights. So these are kind of what we're sort of going for. Keep in mind that other things may use power. Just kind of an example with the defenses area here, the siren or the artillery piece actually requires power. You see that on the right hand side, the little lightning bolt, and it requires so much power, and yeah, that's why we have multiple generators and everything like that. So going back to lights, just basic things. You want to make your house look nice. Light bulbs, give you a little bit of light at night. We've got lamps. I think the lamps look kind of nice. They're cool. You can have a basic fire pit if you want a little bit of light, and that doesn't really require anything but oil and wood, but we were a little bit fancier. We got like Nixie tube and cage wall lights and other stuff, light boxes, neon signs. You can have an open neon sign if you'd like, and just a lot of cool stuff. Construction lights are pretty good. I used to like running those, and you get pretty good lighting from them. And yeah, kind of a different variety. Cool. So we're actually going to show off the building now. So we've got it here. We're going to kind of... Oh, you can also switch to build at any point, just kind of going back and forth in case you were wondering. It's just the B button if you're on console to switch between the two. And we're going to store it because I don't think I scrapped that, did I? I'm pretty sure I stored it. Yeah, store. Cool, so we've stored our items, and you'll notice the lights are gone. Oh no! We're also going to store this one. Cool. And then we're able to go to our stored selection and see what we have. So we're going to place our generator down first. Assuming you don't have stuff stored, you have to buy it, obviously, with the amount of sort of scrap you collect from going out in the world. We place our generator down, nice and easy. There it is. It immediately starts kicking. Cool. Then we have our sort of power pylon. We're setting that right here. Nice and easy. It's placed. You can kind of place it anywhere. You get a pretty good distance. And then we're going to just kind of back out of this to modify. Highlight this thing, the generator, and then you'll see that you have to press Y to attach a wire. Now keep in mind that wires do require actual, content to make them actual items. And this is where kind of copper is important. But you can actually go pretty far with your copper lines. You can sort of really stretch them out. You have to be careful though, because there's sort of like limits as to how you connect them. So there's like certain variables as far as like getting in the way of things and getting blocked by stuff, and you kind of get what I mean. So we take the wire, kind of just a free-flowing wire that we can move around nice and easy, and we go towards it. You'll see a green line, and then you press Y to attach it. Bam, there we go. And immediately, like magic, the sort of stuff around it will get light. See, we have light in the lamp again, we have light in light bulbs. We're going to place, by going to the build again, this other lamp down. Notice in the vicinity here, that seems like a good spot. And we have light. Pretty cool, eh? You can also turn your lights sort of on and off if you'd like to. And it does have a reach between levels, as you can see, obviously. Even though that's down below, it kind of has a situational, well, not a situational awareness, but an awareness of the general area of where it's putting light and power to. Pretty cool, eh? So there we go, we got the connection going. It's really easy to understand, and I hope this did kind of help out with that. We're going to go back to the building by holding the window and window button, whatever that's called these days, and switching to modify. We're going to store this. Notice the power is out again, and we're going to try just an example of another setup here. So we got this one outside. We're taking the wire, and notice, even though we want to build this kind of connection, we can't, because there's, it can't go through a wall. And this is just to show off that aspect of the fact that, the wires have limitations to them, and you'll have to be sort of smart and strategic with how you place your wires and your electric kind of items in order to be able to use them, right? No, stop that. Ugh. Edit it. We're going to move it back, because obviously we like having power. So you can actually do some pretty crazy things and different combinations and everything like that. It's kind of cool. And again, it's got quite a reach to it as well. A little bit less effective during the day, but you can still see how the light is kind of moving. So like we saw, things are going to take, copper, and they're going to take ceramics and basic materials. So a lot of the materials are stuff you're just going to find. But when you're looking for things like ceramics and copper, which again are key, but I really do believe they are sort of rare items to find in the wasteland, you're going to want to go to like medical centers like that, or sort of heavy, I want to say industrial type places, in the sense that like manufacturing and science-based buildings, because that's where you're most likely to find things such as broken lamps or machinery, or stuff like that. You're also going to get like circuitry and clocks and everything. Very important. Finding a variety of items in this, and just coming in here, going to your Vault Tech stash and just slapping that garbage in there. I have a ton of stuff. You're able to click X for transfer, and you can just press Y to store all your junk. They consider everything you grab that's not really important and stuff that you use just as junk. So you see the ceramics, like a bowl, broken lamps are giving me that copper and a little bit of glass. And it's really just about finding stuff and knowing what to look for when you're going to sort of place, objects and take them with you, because you can only hold so much. That's why I kind of put this near the city, so that I could go to a couple of the nearby buildings that I know are good for providing the type of items I want, in order to collect what I need and then just bring it back here quickly, even though it'll be encumbered, and that way I'm not getting too screwed over by enemies. But it is kind of annoying because there's like all these creatures and stuff bothering you. I don't know, it can just get frustrating. But you're seeing how this stuff provides a wide range of things. If you're on PC, I suggest getting a mod, and I know there's already one out there, that will allow you to see what items actually contain within them. Just at a glance, you'd be able to be like, alarm clock, and it contains, these items. Very helpful. And yeah, I hope that helped. If you have any questions about creating electricity within Fallout 76, let me know. But I think this was a very expansive and in-depth sort of look and guide towards actually creating light and having that sort of power source going, so that your kind of camps or whatever you build in your camp actually looks pretty cool. Yeah. So Fallout 76. Dun, dun, dun.